Good morning. Welcome to the Winchester Unitarian Society, and I'm so happy that nature has allowed us to meet this morning by holding off the snow until later. So it's wonderful to see everybody. So welcome to the Winchester Unitarian Society, a caring religious community devoted to spiritual growth, social transformation, and environmental responsibility. As a welcoming congregation, we affirm the full inclusion of people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, whatever their faith traditions, or their immigration status. For those among us from other lands, know that we honor the command of the Hebrew Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 19. You must treat the foreigners living among you as native born and love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. So my name's Martin Newhouse, if you don't know me, and I'm the worship associate this morning. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith does not require us to believe in a dogma, a tenet, or a creed, and among us, we believe many different things. We prize freedom of thought and open, honest discussion and questioning, because these, we believe, enrich both our spiritual lives and our work in the community. Indeed, we can still today proudly state, as the first minister of this society, Richard Metcalf, did over a century ago, quote, "We do not regard even the best creed as final. We look for new truths and new statements of old ones. We maintain the unlimited right of free inquiry." But while our faith does not impose any dogma or belief, we recognize that it does call on us to do certain things. And among these, we recognize and affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And in that spirit, we greet with joy and fellowship all who are gathered with us this morning, both in person and via live streaming. We welcome you all. If you are visiting us for the first time, either in person or online, please take a few moments during the service to provide your contact information. Live stream attendees will see the information about how to complete a virtual visitor card. Those here in the sanctuary who are here for the first time will find the visitor card in the pew rack in the back of the pew in front of you. Please fill it out and put it in the collection plate during the offering. Now we have a couple of announcements, both by our music director, John Kramer, and by Naomi Dallaire.
Thank you, Martin. Wanted to invite you all to our jazz concert on Friday night at 8 p.m. It's going to be a wonderful night. We've got a great crew. Some returning players you've heard, like Ron Israel and Lihia Haruvi. So it's going to be a really wonderful program. Very much looking forward to putting that on for you. In the membership meeting we were at recently, people were talking about how to bring people to the church. And it was noticed that sometimes a soft event, not a church service, is a great way to get people in. And you can all be ambassadors to your friends out there who have not been in our sanctuary by inviting them to the jazz concert. So don't just come and invite a friend, and let's pack the sanctuary. Thanks very much. 8 o'clock Friday night.
Greetings, everyone. I brought my apron. Okay. My name is Naomi Dallaire, and I am with the Nominating and Leadership Development Committee. And this little announcement is all about committees. We are the committee that keeps our committees filled year after year to continue our good work here at WUS. I like to think of this committee as the committee behind the committees. To that end, this is my opportunity to announce that next Sunday, February 1, we will have our 4th annual Sunday Committee Fair to be held in Metcalf Hall right after the service. We'll serve coffee as well. You may remember this is an enticing event disguised as an ice cream festival, but actually designed to educate you on each individual committee's agenda and provide you with the opportunity to become a part of any of these groups that may need your expertise, your skills, your energy. If you are new to us or happen to have missed our last few Sundays, you are at the end of your current term on a committee and looking to explore other opportunities, we invite you to come, join the fun, engage with others, and find out what committee life is all about. And just for that, you get a fabulous sundae as your reward for stopping by to chat with as many committee representatives as you wish. The more committee reps you engage with, the more toppings for your sundae. Anyone who commits to a committee on the spot gets a full loaded sundae with the toppings of your choice. It's a lot of committee stuff there. All right, committee members already serving and kids get as many toppings on their sundae as they wish. As a special thank you for all that you do, enjoy your Sunday treat. Committee involvement is engaging, fun, social, incredibly rewarding, and challenging. Our committees fuel the engine that enables our beloved WUS to thrive, grow, evolve, and commit to as much good work in our community as we do. See you downstairs next Sunday to learn all about our many committees, sprinkled with some tasty, frosty treats. We are looking forward to conversations with you to learn about your special talents, experience, and new ideas, and how our committees could benefit from that exchange. Our committees need you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure that Unitarian Universalists are distinguished by their love of ice cream, but there it is. It exists. Anyway, now please let us open our hearts and minds to worship.
It is okay to be tired of change. It is okay to be tired of everything different. Okay to feel weary of resiliency and wholeness and learning and growth. And okay to yearn simply for rest. It's okay to be grouchy and unsatisfied, and all the ordinary human ways of being that we are. Let this morning be a reminder that you are loved. Let our time together soothe what is restless in you. May you be comforted in knowing that whatever you are feeling today and other days, you are not alone. You are never alone. May Sharon Wiley's words lead us now into this sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together.
I'd now like to invite Otto Spencer to come light our chalice this morning. Thank you, Otto. What a well-brought-up young fellow. Anyway, this morning's chalice lighting words are by Amaret Calloway, quoting from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5. In memory of all the flames that didn't die, in the midst of darkness, in spite of the darkness, we light this flame today. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. Now let us please rise in body or in spirit for the singing of our first hymn, number 346 in the gray hymnal, Come Sing a Song with Me.
I invite those who are young and young at heart to come forward for a story. Good morning. So I'm going to read to you a story from a book called The Hugging Tree. And this story is about a tree, but it's also about all of us. So we'll have a little chat about that at the end. This story is called The Hugging Tree by Jill Niemark. On a bleak and lonely rock by a vast and mighty sea grew a lonely little tree where no tree should ever be. How she got there, no one knew. She sprouted stems and little leaves as tiny as a tiny seed will do. There's hardly any dirt for me, no forest breeze, no birds, no bees, but I will do the best I can to make this rock my home. Her tiny roots pushed night and day, and bit by bit the rock gave way. A smidge, an inch, a foot, and then two. She grew and grew and grew and grew. The ocean hugged the rocky shore. I like you near me, little tree. Let's keep each other company. Soft gold sunbeams kissed her crown, warm as honey pouring down. At night she raised her branches high to greet the moon up in the sky. I wax, I wane, I ebb, I flow. I cycle through from full to thin, and when I'm done, I start again. That's how life is, you know. One summer noon, a pair of loons landed on her canopy. A pretty tree, a sparkling sea, shall we make this place our home and raise our baby chicks right here? The little tree warmed up with pride. She spread her branches high and wide. I'll be your home, she replied. And can you tell me if you've seen the forest where my family grew? We've built our nest in trees like you quite far from here. And so you blew many nights and many days. You flew on wind, just like we do. They built their nest, they laid their eggs, and soon 2 baby chicks were born. Summer passed, autumn too. The little tree turned red and gold. Then winter came with howling winds and cutting cold that broke her boughs. The loons flew south, the sea all ice, the rock all snow, the moon was lost in thunderclouds. Mighty cliff, hold me tight, don't let me blow away. Little tree, with all my might, I hold you close night and day. Storms will come and storms will go. At last the sun melted the snow. But now the tree could not grow. The storm had torn her roots. The moon gazed down and softly said, sometimes we lose our way. But with some help, we start again. That's how life is, you know. And soon a boy came running by, skipping stones into the sea. When he saw the little tree, he stopped and stared. He touched the tiny leaves. He felt the ragged roots. He shook his head and said, I can bring just what you need. I can help you, little tree. A tree can't hug a boy. It has no hands or arms, but it can hug you with its heart, and that is just as deep and warm. Every day, the boy came back carrying a full backpack. From the pack, he took a tin and poured out rich brown earth. He packed the roots and tucked them in. He planted flowers round the tree and made a path for all to see. Now everyone will know that even on a granite cliff, a little tree can grow. And then he went to sleep and dreamed the things that boys dream of. Now every day, new people stop to rest beneath the little tree and dream the things we all dream of. To love, to share, to give, to dare, to grow just where we are. and to this very day they come. For on a splendid sunny rock, by a warm and bright blue sea, a great big hugging tree grows just where she was meant to be. So that's a pretty special story, I think. What do you think? Did you like it? So I mentioned that this is a story about a tree, but also about all of us. In what ways do you think this story is about everyone? Does anybody have any ideas? Timothy? Right, caring for each other, right. Miriam? Some people can thrive and grow in places that people don't think they're supposed to be. Yes, yes. Olson, did you have your hand up or are you stretching? All right, great. Okay. You're worried about the tree growing that close to the edge? Mm-hmm. That's a good point. They might lie there and push the tree and themselves right off the cliff. That's a really good point. Why do you think that's not going to happen? Does anybody have an answer for Olson? Yes? Jeremiah? We're a smart civilization. There's a little space. Mm-hmm. There's still a little bit of wiggle room. Yeah. Miriam?
If it was truly rooted into the stone, it's actually stone. So there's not a super high chance that the stone's gonna break.
Right. Those roots are nice and strong because the boy has fed the tree, right? So the roots are strong, right? Okay, so in a lot of ways, we are like a tree. We have to grow wherever we are planted, right? We all have to deal with storms, like a sad time or a challenging time in our lives, right? Hopefully, like the tree, others will help us. Like the loons in the ocean kept her company, or the boy who made it possible for her to grow her roots deep and strong and her branches strong and healthy on that rock. We can help others as well as being helped, right? Later on, the grown-ups are going to hear Deb talk about soup jars. Has anyone here done soup jars before? Raise your hand. Look at all the soup jar makers. Soup jars is pretty fun, Jeremiah. You're right. I agree. So, yeah, soup jars is a way that we help people who maybe have been through some storms and don't have food to eat. We give them food, just like the boy brought soil to the tree, right? Yeah. So let's stick together so that we can all grow together. Sound good? All right. I invite the grown-ups to sing the children and teachers to religious education. The words are in your order of service.
I invite you now to get settled into your space. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you ground yourself by placing both feet on the floor. Maybe you take a deep breath in and out. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure our little ones are out the door before I say the next part. As we begin our time of prayer and meditation this morning, I invite us into a moment of silence for Alex Pretty, who was killed yesterday by ICE agents in Minneapolis. As we enter into this moment of silence, we hold Alex, his family, and all the people of Minneapolis and surrounding areas who are afraid this morning. We hold them all in our hearts. Let us reflect now together on these words by Douglas Taylor, titled Prayer for Resilience. Gracious and loving God, from whom all things come and to whom all things return, we gather on the edge of another week, and for some of us, on the edge of our strength. We come buoyed by events of our week or weighed down by them, or we arrive in some paradoxical mix thereof. We are here in our Sunday assembly of hope and restoration. At times we come weary and worn down, and for some that is how we arrive today. At other times we come with questions, with a longing, or with something to offer. But for those who come today shattered, broken, lonely, and lost, let us offer our prayer of resilience. Again this week we test the tender places in our hearts and in our lives to see what healing may occur. Gratitude is often a source of healing. We give thanks for the landscapes of grace in our lives, for music and for good companions, for the guidance of great principles and the examples of integrity around us. We give thanks for all that lifts us up and for the lessons that lead us on. For the times when we are brought low by anxiety or adversity, show us the hidden wells of love we can tap into. Help us rise up once more, just once more, and once more again will surely be enough. Remind us that we do not strive in vain, that we are part of a chorus, that resilience is in our bones, that peace will prevail on earth, and that healing and grace come like soft rain. Be thou an ever-present strength upon journeys, and teach us that in falling down, we do rise again. This we ask in the name of all that is holy. May it be so. You may come forward and light a candle now if you wish. Let us kindle the light. Before we begin our readings, I forgot to mention that even 2 of the hymns this morning were part of the submissions. The one we just sang and the closing hymn were also texts that people shared that were resources of resilience for them. And as for our readings, there are many readings we are about to share with you. Some of them are fairly short, some of them are medium, and some of them are long. We do have printouts to share. I'll have them in the back after the service, so please do not worry about tracking every title and author. You can grab a handout after the service with all the readings if you wish. Instead, we invite you just to take the readings in, let them flow over you, through you, in you, and around you. And so we begin.
If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away.
David Thoreau. Next. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Mary Ann Radmacher.
The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
And this from an unknown wise person. If you choose not to find joy in the snow, you will have less joy in your life, but still the same amount of snow. And now I think it's time for our offertory, and I'd like to invite Deb Walsh up to explain about this morning's offering.
I did. Okay. This is a multi-visual and auditory announcement for the offertory. My name is Deb Walsh, and this is a soup jar. You add a bunch of water, and it makes a steaming pot of soup for people who are food insecure. Today's Share the Plate donation goes to Volunteer Ventures, and it's a nonprofit created to lead hands-on service projects to help people in need. Last year, VVMA sponsored the opportunity for 70 of our WUS members and friends to work together for our very own Soup Jar number 2 event. Read more about VVMA in your order of service and enjoy, I hope they're showing, yes, the slides above to see the enthusiastic response from our WIS volunteers last year when children as young as 4 and as old as being well into their 80s made 250 soup jars, and they wanted to do more, but that's all we had.
Please raise your hands now if you could, to let us know if you or your children or your teens participated in either soup jar number 1 or number 2. Take a look around. There's room for more, and I think folks who participated had a great time. I know the littlest ones really were thrilled. It'll be held on March 22nd, and sign-ups will start next Sunday during our Sunday event that you've already heard about. 1/2 of all undesignated contributions will go towards helping us engage in this wonderful intergenerational service project and enable us to live all of our UU values with love. You can all read that from wherever you are in the center. For giving hungry people the ingredients to make a meal of soup is justice. Soup is justice, and justice is love. With Share the Plate donations today and over the next couple of weeks, hopefully we'll reach a combined total of $1,800, and if we do, then we'll be able this year to make 300 soup jars during our upcoming event. Once the jars are made, some of our youngest religious education kids will deliver them to food pantries at the Woburn Council for Social Concern. Raise your hand if one of your kids did that. Yeah, it's really priceless. I wish I had photos of that. I don't, but or I don't have them on this, but they're really just adorable. So they'll deliver the soup jars to Woburn Council for Social Concern and to the NCUP Pantry in Winchester, and they are eager to receive our donations. So please help us start and continue this circle with love at the center.
The morning offering will now be generously given and gratefully received. I invite those who wish to do so to join in the unison affirmation printed in your order of service. We gather not for ourselves alone, but to use our common power to build the beloved community within and beyond these walls. We create and reaffirm this covenant this day, to make justice flourish, to practice compassion amidst difference, and to embody transformative love.
Resources for Resilience, Readings, and Text Part 2. It is better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. Victor Hugo.
One thought ever at the fore, that in the divine ship, the world breasting time and space, all peoples of the globe together sail the same voyage, are bound to the same destination. Walt Whitman.
Someone shared the entire text of the letter from a Birmingham jail, which is great, by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm going to share an excerpt right now. I am in Birmingham because injustice is here. Just as the prophets of the 8th century BC left their villages and carried their "Thus saith the Lord" far beyond the boundaries of their hometowns, and just as the apostle Paul left his village of Tarsus and carried the gospel of Jesus Christ to the far corners of the Greco-Roman world, so am I compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my own hometown. Like Paul, I must constantly respond to the Macedonian call for aid. Moreover, I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Never again can we afford to live with the narrow, provincial, outside agitator idea. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider anywhere within its bounds. You deplore the demonstrations taking place in Birmingham, but your statement, I am sorry to say, fails to express a similar concern for the conditions that brought about the demonstrations. I am sure that none of you would want to rest content with this superficial kind of social analysis that deals merely with effects and does not grapple with underlying causes. It is unfortunate that demonstrations are taking place in Birmingham, but it is even more unfortunate that the city's white power structure left the Negro community with no alternative.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Frank Herbert.
Do not pursue the past. Do not lose yourself in the future. The past no longer is. The future has not yet come. Looking deeply at life as it is and the very here and now, the practitioner dwells in stability and freedom. We must be diligent today. To wait until tomorrow is too late. The Buddha. I believe we have a hymn now to sing together. Let us do so. What? Oh, it's the anthem. I'm sorry. I got it wrong. The anthem. My apologies.
Part 3. Hope must be invented every day. James Baldwin.
Defenseless under the night, our world in stupor lies. Yet everywhere, dotted everywhere, ironic points of light flash out wherever the just exchange their messages. May I, composed like them of eros and of dust, beleaguered by the same negation and despair, show an affirming flame. W.H. Auden.
On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you the meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the current of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of the light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. John O'Donohue.
Blessing When the World is Ending by Jan Richardson. Look, the world is always ending somewhere. Somewhere the sun has come crashing down. Somewhere it has gone completely dark. Somewhere it has ended with the gun, the knife, the fist. Somewhere it has ended with the slammed door, the shattered hope. Somewhere it has ended with the utter quiet that follows the news from the phone, the television, the hospital room. Somewhere it has ended with a tenderness that will break your heart. But listen, this blessing means to be anything but morose. It has not come to cause despair. It is simply here because there is nothing a blessing is better suited for than an ending. Nothing that cries out more for a blessing than when a world is falling apart. This blessing will not fix you, will not mend you, will not give you false comfort. It will not talk to you about one door opening when another one closes. It will simply sit itself beside you among the shards and gently turn your face toward the direction from which the light will come, gathering itself about you as the world begins again.
And these words of Mahatma Gandhi: whatever you do will be insignificant, but it is very important that you do it.
And now is the time for the hymn that I was talking about. So let us rise and embody our spirit and sing.
Hymn number 1015.
1015.
Right, in the teal hymnal, I Know I Can.
Yeah, we'll do verses 1, 2, and 4.
Days be dark with storms, and birds wing my song. The troubles wait.
Alex Preddy was killed yesterday by immigrations and customs enforcement officers. The federal government is again defending the indefensible. They are again saying the officers involved were acting in self-defense. Fortunately for truth and justice, there are multiple videos of what actually happened. Some of you have watched them as I did. If you have seen the videos, you know that the official government responses blaming Alex and claiming self-defense are lies. While Alex was in legal possession of a firearm at the time he was killed, he had not drawn it. He did not have it in his hand. He had his cell phone in his hand, filming ICE as they had just shoved another civilian into a snowbank. ICE initiated physical contact with him, and he was on the ground, unarmed, surrounded by 6 ICE officers by my count, when they repeatedly shot him. 6 officers surrounding a man on the ground with no weapon in his hands. That is not self-defense. That is cold-blooded killing. Normally, I would not go into such graphic detail in a service about the circumstances and details of a death, but we are in unprecedented times. The federal government is lying and trying to spin this and sell it as self-defense on part of the agents. And so now we are called to speak in unprecedented ways the truth. Friends, our topic this morning is resilience. And this was clearly not what I was planning on sharing during this portion of the service. And yet here we are. We need to be more resilient than ever because this moment is calling us to more than just resilience. Yes, we need to feel the feelings we're having. It is terrifying that 2 United States citizens have been killed in cold blood in the past week, and that despite video evidence to the contrary, the federal government is claiming the agents were acting in self-defense. Yes, we need to debrief this with our loved ones and our closest friends. Yes, we need to share our feelings about how awful this is. Yes, we need to talk about this in church and in other communities in our lives. And then we need to act. The service title last week was It's Time to Be Bold. After the events of yesterday, the title for this morning is It's Time to Act. It is no longer enough to be upset about what is happening and merely talk about it. Words are important, words are still necessary, and it is time to act. Our government cannot kill citizens in cold blood and defend those killing with lies. Our politicians need to stand up and put a stop to this, and sadly, I don't think they're going to do so unless we force their hands. They need to know the will of the people. We, the people, need to express our will. Our politicians need to know that they will be voted out of office regardless of the R or D next to their name if they do not act to put a stop to this. The politicians in office, even those who are retiring at the end of their terms, need to know that they will be in trouble if they do nothing. They need to hear from us, the people, in all the ways we have to let them know. So it is time for phone calls to your representative and your senator. It is time to organize protests and make calls for phone banks. It may be time to organize mass protests in Minneapolis, and for many of us soon to get on a plane so that we can get bodies on the ground in the face of what is happening. More bodies, because there is lots of protests happening in Minneapolis. Only you know what is right and safe and appropriate for you. Only you know what is the right level of risk in intentionally putting yourself in harm's way. Whatever that level is for you, it's time. Our shared values put love at the center, and love is now calling us to action. Love is often soft and gentle, but it is not always so. Sometimes love is fierce and strong and protective. Yes, we need resources for resilience. These are trying times. These are unprecedented times. These are terrifying times. Yes, we need resources for resilience. Yes, we must care for and tend to our spirits. And then we must act. No one else is going to do it for us. It is up to you. It is up to me. It is up to us. May our love be fierce, strong, and just. Amen.
Let us now rise in body or in spirit for the singing of our final hymn, Psalm 23. The words of this version are in your order of service.
Friends, our benediction this morning is one more submission that you all shared. One of you. It is titled Motto by Bertolt Brecht. In the dark times, will there also be singing? Yes, there will be singing about the dark times. Go and be blessed and be a blessing. Amen.
Please join me in reading the words for extinguishing the chalice that are printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. This morning's service is concluded, but our life of service continues. Please join us in the Sims room behind the sanctuary for conversation and refreshment.